Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your sexy ranch hand co-host Kalder and Simeon. This week we've got some Wonder Woman news. We've got a keyboard, Kenny Pena typing up all sorts. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Anyways, typing up all sorts of things, getting the Heroclix community a buzz in all these Facebook groups, and of course, special guest Jay Solomon is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 353. Howdy, howdy. Let's get rowdy.
Welcome to Canada. It's a Maple Leafs Day. Canada, it's great. Don't wanna be a Canadian idiot. Nice and they speak French too. If you don't like it, man, you slip through the Great White North. Posers take off. And do I look like some frostbitten hose head? It's not half bad. I want to be where I never learned my alphabet from A to Z.
Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your order. Joining me in the studio, like always, is the Heroclix heavyweight champion, Simeon Bruce. What's going on, Simeon?
Oh, that's me. Calder, I got a little treat for you. Let me just reach down here.
Don't like how it sounds.
Let's see here. You know what that noise is, Calder?
A jug, I imagine.
Yeah. From your home.
We don't have milk jugs. We have milk bags.
Oh, yeah. You guys,
my homeland.
Much harder to blow into a milk bag than a milk jug.
I don't own a dairy farm, so it's not my homeland. That's not milk. Milk is not something I produce, but thank you, Simeon. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. And then also joining us is none other than Jay Solomon from JSAclix podcast, from official judge fame, from just all around pretty cool Canadian guy fame. Jay, what's going on, man?
I'm just feeling very official right now.
Absolutely. You have a lot of titles.
Don't worry, we'll insert some sort of like royal drum roll kind of thing right there.
Yeah. I'm sure Simeon will figure out a way to make some sort of audio equivalent of his memes where he just crops out everything I say, except for like what was the last one? Just I can't remember the last one, but just like one incriminating word. Oh, I think it's like what I say the word official, and you crop out everything else.
Yes.
So.
Yes. One of my favorite ones is just get choked, and
oh god,
such a good J quote. Official J ruling. I don't
even want to give the context.
Out of context, Jay Solomon.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That should be a Heroclix meme page.
It's not like we don't have enough of those. Simeon, make a Heroclix meme page. Get on it, stat.
Oh god.
But all right, normally, because you haven't been on the show before, not that I don't think a ton of people aren't going to know you are, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to get to know you. We're going to have the listener get to know you, doing a fun little interview. So, Simeon, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the first question for Jay?
Yeah, so the main thing when it comes to Heroclix is how and when did you get into Heroclix, Jay?
I was in grade 12, and I had a friend who played it, and he tried to get me, got me into it, and I'm trying to remember. I went to a venue a couple times with him just to watch and see how it was, and then eventually he had played years before, and then our local store. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh there, but that local store closed. He played Heroclix there. But then we found some other venues, and then he got back right about Incredible Hulk, which was not the best set. And then my first event was Galactic Guardian Sealed. And then it kind of just went from there. And now he barely plays because he is a lawyer. He had law school for years, and now so it's funny how life works out. Although he is actually playing the online tournament.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, that's great, though. That's awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Jay Solomon does have friends. Tell everyone. Don't worry. Don't need to worry about it. Next up is, what are some of your favorite figures, combos of figures, keywords that you like to play, and why is that? Why is the answer to your question Alpha Flight?
I wish we had more Alpha Flight. Or do you mean competitive or casual or whatever?
Either one, however you want to say it.
Casual. I mean, oh god. I mean, our local venue, we basically end up just doing competitive practice every time. So I don't really play that much casual anymore. But the main keywords for me are Justice Society, obviously, and then Spider-Man Family is a big one. I collect all the Spider-Man stuff. We don't get enough Exiles, but that's a big one. I do collect Asgardians, and I guess if we were playing in person, I'd be playing a lot of Injustice League. That's the most of it. Whatever DC I can get, I will play. And then, I mean, specific favorites. My number one is Hawkman and Hawkgirl, just because I have an affinity for player design pieces as it is, and it's just a really good piece. And it's a shame that the duo mechanic ability is gone, because I do also love Lex and Joker. Yeah, just the JSA swarmy kind of stuff, even though, that's a whole other thing. But
well-built JSA
and as far as
teams are
competitive
hard to take down.
mechanics, they can be. I have good luck with them locally, but then one of the last times I played against Devin Owens was playing the Thunderbolts with Kobik. So then, when Kobik takes away the main mechanic of the thing that you do with the team ability, that kind of sucks. Competitively, I do not do aggressive. Don't die is not like a thing right now, really, but I do like more defensive teams. So right now, I have given up on Immortal Hulk, but sadly, but yeah, if you were playing against me a couple years ago, it would have been a lot of like Lockjaw, haha, Joker type of thing.
Have you been just because the next question is going to be like whether or not you're a more meta or casual player, and I think we all pretty much know the answer to that. To sort of go into that, have you been team building at all, or are you just like waiting? Because right now there's no real competitive events happening. Are you just waiting until the changes happen before you really start to invest into like certain figures or pieces that you might want to build a team around? Because the other day, I know I was like, I should start team building for 300 Modern. And then I was like, but why? What's the point? The entire game is going to get flipped on its head here in a little bit. So are you still just like trucking along, just always constantly thinking of like what you might fit your play style for 300 Modern? Or are you just sort of like taking it back since there's not a ton of in-person play? Are you just sort of like, when the rule changes happen, I'll see what's good after that and then go from it? Or do you just are always sort of working on stuff?
I wasn't building for the longest time. I guess basically from, let's say, I guess when 76 came out, and between that and like the watch list, and there wasn't events happening. But more recently, there's definitely stuff I've been enjoying. Future Foundation. So that has I do have a build going. I've been playtesting, but I have not been. I did play a Brad event not long ago, but that was the last time I had my dying hopes for Mortal Hulk working. But I have actually been building because the set does. It's not like everything in the set, but there are specific stuff that works for me that I like. So because I do. I mean, there's not so much Cosmic, but I do enjoy Uatu, and hopefully he gets clarified to work properly. And with the knowledge that we are going to be getting, I guess, generic theme probs, there's a lot of stuff with scientists that I like in the set. Because, I don't know, Puppet Master, Molecule Man, Nathaniel Richards, at least one of the Doom Chases, I'm sure. So I've been building not so much. I've been trying to get core concepts and work on those, but I have actually been building, surprisingly.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that the new rules might make larger pieces with just like better printed stats more of like a mainstay than like cheap like filler like perplex kind of stuff. But I have no idea, so I haven't really been building a whole lot, like not too aggressively. But then it'll move us on into what is your favorite format to play? Are you more of like a 300 Modern, or if it was like your birthday and everybody has to show up and play what you want, what are they building for?
I mean, I do enjoy 300 Modern, and I do enjoy Sealed quite a bit. I don't really play any alternate competitive formats. Like Bronze is just too much for me. Or I don't know, other random tournaments other people decide to run. But I mean, locally, it's pretty much going to be 500 Golden Age for the casual, that sort of thing. If it was, I don't know, if it was my birthday, it'd probably be, I don't know, like 600, and you can make up your own theme, basically. I don't care. I don't care if everybody's sitting in a chair or, I don't know, but that sort of thing. That's fun.
I do like the chair squads. Got like Professor X and Hades, all the throne people.
Black Panther, stuff like that. Yeah, those are fun.
I had some success with the, both of the Super Jokers from Joker's Wild. Although that was before they changed Mastermind, unfortunately. But I did end up winning 2017 Rock Up. There was like a consolation tournament for people that didn't make the day. And I did win that, so that was fun.
Nice.
Oh,
the chair meta.
Ooh, the chair meta. But yeah, so you play like musical chairs, have just like some music going on. Stop. Joker, bang. But yeah, so next up is, what's your usual venue? I know it's tough trying to get to your venue in Canada when you have to hike through the snowy mountains, fight off werebeavers and demon-possessed elks in order to get to your venue. But once you do make that 3 or 4 day trek through the wilderness and the Canadian tundra, where do you normally play at?
I run events. I mean, we were running events on Sundays and Thursdays at 401 Games in Toronto. There's also another location, but the Toronto one. The main, I mean, I guess it's the only Heroclix store in Toronto proper. But it's funny because I used to live in not quite Toronto, so it was hard. I would have to like get to a bus to get to the subway, but now I live like right on the subway line to get there. And now Corona happened. And we've basically not been able to have events for this whole time, so. But yeah, 401 Games.
Yeah, it's a big city. Makes sense.
I really like that accent, though.
401, is that like the...
Toronto. It's such an interesting way to say it.
Yeah, we have very specific words that we say weird. Like, are we supposed to pronounce it pasta or pasta? Whatever one is apparently we say it wrong here. So...
Do you guys actually say like Z instead of Z?
No, nobody does. Nobody says A. We don't.
Or like a boot.
We don't
hear that one quite a bit.
Like we don't actually like the stereotypical Canadian whatever. It's basically people think that we sound like the stereotype of somebody from like Wisconsin or whatever. Like that's just not true.
It's more like Trailer Park Boys,
yeah, like
right?
Nobody says no. More like Letterkenny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, nobody says.
On your porch the other day.
We just say free healthcare.
Darn.
So
you've thank you, Simeon. You've worked, I guess. I don't know if it's technically worked or not, but you've been a judge for a lot of events and a lot of different venues. Can you give us like one of like a horrifying judge story where it's just like, I can't believe a player has asked me this question, or if it's just like, what were the mental gymnastics somebody got to get to here in this game, and you were just so flabbergasted they had the game completely wrong, or just some fun judge story that you might remember or recall?
I mean, my best judge story was me getting royally screwed as a player. I guess I'll say that one anyway. Basically, I was playing a game years ago with Mr. Mixiaspitlick, and he has the thing where he takes a free action to choose a different size, right? Or he can make a character a different size. So basically I had to play where he did his running shot, his pulse wave, like, you know, the tokens, all that stuff. Like my opponent, you know, took the tokens, clicked for pushing damage. I moved my whole team, you know, assuming that their whole team was pushed. And then he was like, oh, you didn't declare the free action to make him a different size to do the attack. And then the judge was like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically, you didn't make that attack. You moved all your characters. He gets his tokens off. So I'm like, oh, that's fair. I just needed to declare a free action, but let's just hand my opponent the whole game. Yeah.
I've always been under the assumption that
I've
like,
only...
in a situation like that, once like figures have been clicked and the game state has been changed, if it wasn't like caught like beforehand, it just like is as it is kind of thing.
Right. Also considering that it was literally just a matter of declaring a free action. It wasn't even like it was a perplex. Like it was the character themselves. But yeah, that was I've only really had to give a warning once. It was so silly. It was a local WKO and somebody was using Superman God of Strength, where he has a power where he has super strength but can hold 2 objects, and he can use them both and get like extra bonuses. Like that's basically it. And then the guy, makes the attack with Superman, and he uses the objects and he uses the bonuses, and then he attacks over whatever. And then he like refuses to like take off the second object. And this somehow turned into an argument that like went back and forth so much I had to give a warning for literally wow. You used the power, like you did the thing, so the thing happened. It was just it somehow got to the point where it was my only warning ever.
Yeah, he's fairly explicit with the power wording. It's you destroy one of the held objects, get a +1 attack and damage, and then you use the other object in like an object attack. So the first one would just be gone to get the pluses, and then the second one would be used in an object attack, which would destroy it. So that seems pretty
basically uses them both up. That was somehow the most simple, and also I don't even understand how those things happen, but that's definitely the worst one.
So I occasionally watch some Magic YouTube stuff. I get into like these weird YouTube rabbit holes. I've never played Magic, but I get into these rabbit holes, and there's a group out there that trains Magic judges, and they train them like in de-escalation and like handling like different kinds of players, people that are like angry or whatever, and like finding ways to de-escalate the situation in like a tournament setting. Have you ever thought about getting a group of judges and starting a training program for that?
No, it's never been necessary, like at all. Like, I don't know. You're generally at a given event, or there's, I don't know. It's sometimes you'll have problem players, but it's not a trend. Like, especially considering that like 99% of the questions that I get asked are just in the pack. Like, you can't really argue like what hypersonic speed does. Like, it's right there. So there's just not a lot of room for that, and it happens so rarely. It would just be a bit of a waste of time. But it is a good thought.
One of my favorite judge memories. I was never an actual judge in any real capacity, but in 2019 Worlds, during Team Sealed, I used Onslaught to incapacitate a Van Whedon that was on its like special backhand click, where it's got earthbound.
Yeah.
And we had to like judge bounce to like 3 people, and finally I think Anthony Barnstable like ran from home all the way to Memphis and got there just in time to answer it. But luckily for that player I was playing against, pushing damage will no longer be a real thing, so Van Whedon will be safe to use moving forward after Wonder Woman.
Yeah, makes one of my favorites, Lawjaw, much better. He was never bad, but people think he is. But if they need their one fear assuaged, that's
his Achilles heel, if you will, is definitely gone.
If you had to like make the JSA, but like, as Heroclix players, who do you think would be like the Jay Garrick of the group? Maybe that's a bit cheating. Jay. But like, who would be the Green Lantern? Who would be the Jay Garrick? Who's the Wonder Woman? Like, if you had to like make your like, here's the JSA of Heroclix players or judges. Who's on your squad?
I told Simeon I'd be prepared for questions, but that's a hell of a question.
I can't control what Calder says. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm aware.
Yeah.
There's probably a little bit more prep for that question than I gave you.
Just a little.
It just sort of happened.
Yeah, off the top of my head, Jason Keene will be Atom Smasher because he's huge. Like I said, you have Anthony. There has to be somebody I'm not thinking of for Wildcat, just like somebody that actually knows how to fight. I'm sure there's somebody. maybe you two can think of somebody, but I can't off the top of my head.
If I was just to go by
Wonder Woman, there's not that many
people that show up at tournaments, I'd have to give it to like Ares. He seems like he'd be like this.
He's got those brass knuckle earrings.
Like he'd be
he's
like
so intimidating.
Yeah, I probably
you
wouldn't
see that he's
him.
only like he's like 5'3" or something though, so he's not intimidating once you actually see him in real life.
Yeah, Ares when I would kick my I would just feel really bad about kicking his
right.
In between.
No, I mean I got into a wrestling match with Hobbit with Matthew, so like, that was a good time. So like so it turns out when you're built like a brick house at that height, you just people just sort of lose, and I was okay with losing. But man, there's like some shred of me that thought I could take him at 1 a.m. during the Critical Clix like whatever fun tournament, midnight tournament one year at Rocktober, and that was absolutely false. That was 100% bad idea, terrible idea.
that does not sound like a good idea.
But most decisions at 1 a.m. are when you say, "Hey, let's take it outside at 1 a.m." It's normally like that's a bad situation. Emily not the Mahuncle, the tornado. What's her name with the pot?
Yeah. Red Tornado.
Yeah, Red Tornado, Mahuncle. Yeah, I mean, I could be Red Tornado. Yeah. I like to cook.
There you go.
I don't know very many Heroclix players who are known for cooking, but I do enjoy it. I don't know.
There's some Heroclix player that's like a professional chef and is listening to this and they're like, I'm offended.
Jason Collins used to work in a restaurant.
Ooh, there we go.
So somebody named Jay either way.
Right.
I'd vote for Kalder for Green Lantern because he puts up a lot of walls. And it's tough to get past all of Kalder's walls.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Thank you. They are emotional construct barriers that keep me sane while I play this game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there is a Wonder Woman on a horse. I guess that can be Lindy, right?
Yeah, but she rides English, man. And I have such a problem with that. You've no idea. And I get it. Not everybody can be like a man and ride with a hat, a cowboy hat, a saddle that's a real saddle. And then just go wild. But when you ride English, to me, that just takes away just everything. Like you are one with that animal and you're putting your trust in it. And I've been bucked off so many times. And yes, I have had concussions. I get it. I talk like I've had head injuries. I know. But don't wear a helmet, bro. To me, that's demeaning to yourself as a rider, as someone who knows how to handle a horse, as a horseman or horsewoman, whatever. And then to the animal itself, that you did not either train it or buy it from somebody who is a good enough trainer. I have huge problems with English riding. That's all I'm going to say about that. But she is a pretty nice lady. I've played against her a few times. She is very nice, but I have a problem with English riders. And that's just, okay. It's a Heroclix podcast. I'm not going to get into it right now.
Yeah.
No,
I also, I guess, if I have to finish off
stuff, really deep dive.
I don't know if George
horsemanship.
I don't know if George wants to be Black Adam or wants to get choked by him, but whatever you pick, George.
I think both ways.
Oh God!
If he could clone himself and give him the powers of Shazam, he would be able to do both. Yes.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get into any sort of accident. And I'll leave it at that.
But speaking of Black Adam and creating characters, what is a figure that you would create if you had all the whiz kids might behind you and you could just create the perfect version of your favorite character? What would it be?
The number one is Atom Smasher by far. I mean, technically not on Clix, but it's been so long, and it kills me because there's been so many sets that it would have made sense. But what can you do? I think my donor status right now, but my HC Realms avatar was there was one random frame of him, Vigilante, and Shining Knight, and two of them got made at least. And the other one would be the Flash, but now that we don't have hypersonic, that's going to be a yikes for me. So I mean, it's not gone, but you know what I mean. So
yeah, benched, right?
Yeah, but that's the second one because he either gets made like the last one had hypersonic or super senses, and that's it. The original had just hypersonic. I don't know what it is. They don't like giving him powers. Hey, my flash took a hit. What does he have? Super senses. Oh, well, all right then. And my Marvel ones are
Good.
Exiles, which nobody would care about. So,
Right. I mean, anything with an X in the name, I normally just discount as not needing to be a Heroclix figure or another set. So you can say them if you want to, but just
I mean, there's a Morph is pretty cool, and there's a female Sunfire. Those are the main ones. I mean, there's a lot of them, but those are the
right.
It was kind of sad that we got Morph, and he was like not good and not but
Yeah, even
know,
the
it's
there
Prime.
should be a
Morphs
fifth
is
on that
so
list that I'm forgetting. But
The Prime was just slightly different than the non-Prime, which really upset me.
he would be a pretty good close combat piece. He could, cool shape changing stuff. He'd be cool.
Some like cool ones, like ones that like only Jay Solomon could answer.
Oh God!
But I also
rules.
yeah. Well, how many rules questions have you like gotten from people like after all these like rules articles have come out? Have people just been like, "Hey Jay, what does this mean? I don't understand."
No,
it.
not really. It's since me and Joe and Gil took over rules chat. It's just been there more. I don't. Okay, let me tell you this one story that was kind of an insult, but I think it's funny in retrospect. Somebody messaged me a rules question, and they said, "I know you're not Rockhead Judge anymore, but I have this question for you." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." So. But yeah, I don't
Like, come on, man.
But I used to get a lot more private messages. I don't as much, which I don't mind. Like, feel free, but it was definitely more of a thing before, not as much now.
Right.
Back when the old ROC was actually popping off a lot of events, I imagine they had a lot of rules rolling through. That I don't know. I haven't really noticed a whole lot since a couple months back. I don't know.
Wait, you mean how no events have fired off? Yeah, I mean no events are really happening at all, right?
Right.
Like Brad's in Chicago, and now mine, and then it seems like maybe people are a bit burned out on online after the big boom last year. I don't know.
I mean, so we all know Roll20 just like sort of sucks. Like we're playing a crappy video game like version of Heroclix, or at least that's my opinion of it. I don't know how you can't not get burnt out on Roll20 because it's not the same game. It's very much bare bones terrain, moving images around that have stats and powers.
I truly think the worst part for me is just the maps being like cut to bare bones. So it's like, oh, what map is this? Oh, it's like, it's something that would thematically have like a huge mountain and like all this like terrain and stuff. But it's like, it's got some green bits and orange bits and brown bits. It's like very, very aesthetically pleasing Roll20.
I mean, I think there's give and take. Like I had before retirement, I was playing like a team with 4 Floras and a bunch more Colossals, and Floras standing them up alone is a problem, but like lines of fire and stuff, like it is interesting. I think it's different, but obviously it's definitely not the same. But more, you take what you can get, but it is understandable to not love it.
Okay, sweet, man. All right, for sure. Like, I want to think of more things, but also I'm an American, so I can't think of literally anything to ask you now. So I think we're good to get moving into the show. So Simeon, let's just do what made us happy, just real quick. Why don't you go for it? Tell us about whatever food you ate this week, Simeon.
Well, I actually was going to, but now I don't want to.
Okay.
But I'm going to anyhow because I can't think of anything else that made me happy.
Thank you.
So earlier you heard me blow into what is a Scriptown jug, or a growler, if you will. And Scriptown happens to be attached to the Momo station, which is a Momo, if you are unfamiliar, which I imagine Kalder is, uncivilized creature he is.
I am. That is correct.
It's a Nepalese dish. So I don't know if the lady is actually, I assume she is from Nepal, but I have no idea. It just says Nepalese food. And it's a dumpling that you can get either steamed or fried. And I get both because I'm a big old hungry boy, and she knows that I like the Grim Creeper sauce with it, which is spicy enough that it hurts me, but doesn't take away my taste buds. It doesn't like do that neutralizing effect to your tongue. So it's like just as painful the first time as it is the last time, which is really good. But yeah, it comes in chicken, vegetarian, and pork. So I, of course, went with chicken and pork for my fried and steamed dumplings, and they're delicious. The Momo station in Omaha, if you're down in like the Farnham area for whatever reason, it's definitely the Momos you should get out of all the options.
Awesome. I'm so glad you enlightened us with that. Just amazing. Just great. Made zero sense to me. I honestly have no idea what food you ate. I couldn't even begin to understand what the dish could possibly look like.
Do you know what a dumpling is? Come on.
Well, there's different kinds of dumplings now, aren't there, Simeon?
Yeah, these are chicken and pork filled ones.
Whatever that means.
Steamed or fried.
Okay.
I think the only kind of steamed that an American like Calder would want is a steamed ham.
I do like me some steamed hams, I tell you what. Some good steamed hams. But all right, what made me happy this week? I watched some more movies. So let's just pop off the list in no particular order. And then after this, I'll give you the particular order. We watched Venom, The Gladiator, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Lighthouse. Did not watch as many movies as I normally do each week. Real quick, from worst to best in my personal interpretation. This is, by the way, probably the 8th time I've watched Venom in my life. So worst one, definitely Lighthouse. It's this black and white movie. It stars the Green Goblin and Edward Cullen from Twilight.
Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Yes, those two. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's very artsy. It's got some hidden message. It had some really weird. It was like sort of a horror movie, sort of a take on insanity. So I did enjoy it, but there was just there's also just a lot of weird parts where I was like, man, I would not have wanted to sit down and watch this in a movie theater. I would have felt awkward. I probably would have just got up and left. But it still had some of the best acting I've seen in recent times. So sadly, it takes home the 4 spot. Venom, of course, at number 3. Venom is just so fun. Every time I watch it, I realize just how much more is wrong with the movie the more I watch it. But it's still such a freaking fun movie. And I just can't not enjoy it.
I couldn't watch it more than
coming
once.
in at number... Oh, dude, my family loves it. So I watched it twice in theaters, once by myself, once my brother wanted to go see it with me. So we watched it. And then it was like a month or two later, I bought it on DVD as soon as I could, or Blu-ray. And then my mom was like, hey, I haven't seen Venom yet. Is that like an MCU movie? And I'm like, well, no, it's not. But if you like, Spider-Man, whatever, we can watch it. And she was like, yeah, sure. So we watched it all as a family in my living room. It was like my dad, my brothers, my sister. And they loved it. My mom freaking loved Venom. She was like, this movie's awesome. And then later that year, my brother really liked like Tom Hardy as an actor. So we went and we commissioned somebody to make him a Venom costume. That would be not like the big full black Venom, but it was like the Eddie Brock like hoodie he had. And we literally like went on Amazon. We found his shoes, his pants, his like ring and his like bracelets and stuff. We put together this whole Eddie Brock outfit. And then there's that scene where Venom is just like a head coming out of his shoulder, like talking to him. And so we cut off one sleeve of this hoodie. And then the guy made it was sort of like a mix of like a vinyl latex type Venom head that like you could puppet. So like we like wore that to some conventions for a while, which was really sweet. So like Venom was just like a fun time. Just like what we all like got out of that movie, how I experienced it. And I knew some people that didn't watch it. So I was like, hey, I've got it on Blu-ray. Let's watch it again. Number 2 spot, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I can't believe I've never seen this movie before. Probably because it was like just a 3-hour movie. And dang, it was good. It was awesome. Obviously, what's his face? Clint Eastwood just kills it. He's just like so calm, cool, collected. He's just a boss every movie you ever see him in. So Good and the Bad, the Ugly was awesome. It was very good. Kept me captivated the whole time. I sort of watched it like
one of our bumpers is like the
I know.
part of the score.
I know it's
of
the
Good,
music.
Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they played about 1 million times in the movie. No,
Yeah.
I knew the music. Like I know where the music is from. I've just never like sat down and watched the movie. It's no Comanche Moon, but it's still really good. It's probably better than Comanche Moon. And then number 1 spot, Gladiator. Once again, Joaquin Phoenix kills it, absolutely slaughters it in this role. Russell, what's his face? Absolutely just awesome. Yes, Russell Crowe. There's so many Russells in Hollywood. It's hard to keep track. But yeah, I absolutely love The Gladiator. I sort of want to make that helmet because I've seen that helmet all over the place before. The one with like the spikes on the back and like the sort of MF Doom look to it. And now I'm like, oh, that's what it's from. That's pretty sweet. So kind of want to make it now. But yeah, Gladiator was just like an awesome time. Just a great movie. But yeah, it's a short list this week, but that is what we saw.
Venom is a very good bad movie. Like if it came out in 1997 or something, people would have so much nostalgia for it. It's just, I don't know. When I went into the theater, it was like, okay, let's just pretend that like good superhero movies aren't a thing, you know? Like
for sure.
If you're expecting like a transcendent, like a good superhero movie, like no, it's a pretty trash movie, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
as far as,
if you held it up to like Blade, like the Blade trilogy, or like the Punisher movies, it'd be like right on par with like the action kind of like not attached to a full storyline kind of thing, but decent action movie kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty agreeable.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that. It does. If for like a superhero movie, it has an odd amount of like chase scenes and stuff. And you're like, oh, interesting. This is very like action movie oriented, like pseudo like company espionage thing going on and all sorts of stuff. Almost feels like an almost spy movie, except it's like she got the worst person ever to try to take this company down. Basically, I don't understand her qualifications to seek out Eddie Brock, but it's still fun. I still super enjoy watching that movie. But Jay, why don't you go ahead, say a few things that made you happy this week, my man?
I think we're at 31 players now for my charity event that we'll go into later near the end. I think it's 31 as of today, and that's been very good. I don't know. I've been enjoying Disney Plus adding like, I think that's not a thing in the States. Like they added like a whole bunch of other like non-Disney sort of like they bought out people stuff. Like I think that was not a US thing, but I've been watching.
I haven't noticed any giant influx of stuff recently, but
like
Raza,
I don't know, like
a
lot of Fox
the newest
stuff.
thing I saw.
Yeah,
I know they added the
I guess it sucks to be American
X-Men stuff or whatever.
No, it's like I don't know. I've been watching Futurama. I forgot that American Dad is actually like reasonably good. Like it's I've been enjoying it.
There's a lot of like decent commentary in like the background of it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
American Dad fits that same Family Guy kind of cue with me, where I have to be in a very particular mood to actually enjoy it. And that mood is like very reminiscent of who I was like at the age of like 14, and I'm just very rarely in that kind of mood anymore.
Yeah, I don't mind Family Guy, but I like Seth MacFarlane without the cutaways. He's very, as an entertainer, he's very talented. Like he has a good album where he sings kind of like old style, like I guess Frank Sinatra type stuff. But yeah, the no cutaways does it for me. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I find myself watching more TV than movies these days. I don't know why, but somehow it's easier to commit 4 hours to a bunch of TV than to, this movie is 2.5 hours. I don't know what it is. But.
Yeah, just try getting some subscribers to commit to an hour and 15-minute long gameplay video. I'm not.
All right, cool then. Glad you got that out of your system, Simeon. Yeah, no, I can tell you're not. Let's just go ahead and jump into the news. But if you do seriously want to watch some hour and 15-minute YouTube videos where it's the most casual version of Heroclix that could be played, you can go ahead and check out the Dial H for Heroclix YouTube channel, where the last Thursday throwdown we had was Iron Maiden versus Kick-Arse 2. Amazing. Just amazing game. If you ever wanted to see Iron Maiden try to go against Chris D'Amico and Colonel Stars and Stripes, well, boy, howdy, do we have the game for you, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you have no idea what you're missing. But this week, we got to see some weird spoilers, just sort of here and there for Wonder Woman. We got to see the cool Invisible Jet, Ellie, and we got to see the map for the play-at-home kits. When they said it was going to be Clix effects base, I know I was curious about how they were going to do the Invisible Jet, and I guess this just makes the most sense, using the same comic panel mold from Deadpool and the X-Force, and then sort of printing like some highlighted lines to make it look like the Invisible Jet. And then obviously it's a POG. I don't think anybody thought we were going to get some really cool, like, whoa, just ginormous Clix effects base. It's an Invisible Jet. But yeah, it's POG. I think that pretty much everybody would assumed it was going to be a Pog. But yeah. But she's cool, and she's like oddly good at 50 points with some decent-ish stats. Still not giving a DC character an 18 defense for whatever reason, but obviously, from what we've seen from Wonder Woman, that's a little different at the very least. But yeah, actually pretty sweet. So
I mean,
I'm
the
glad.
crypto defense value doesn't matter as much when you have JSA, right? So.
That is true. That is true.
Right.
JSA, Wonder Woman team ability. She's going to be jumping in the jet, which at least has an 18 to invul and super senses as well, which is dope. I mean, it's just cool. It's cool. So I hope, Jay, have you been picking up these play-at-home kits? Because there's only like...
I was not really into them, but I'm going to be getting this one.
Okay.
Especially because the maps are reprints, and I'm like, if I ever play, I'll try and get, I don't know. But yeah, I will be getting this one, obviously.
My big reason for grabbing them so far was the maps. That being said, I really did like the Junkyard map. I think it was underplayed when it was originally modern, and I don't know what the special rules on this one do. I don't know if I saw that or not, but the original one...
I'm looking at it now. I mean, they just looks like the only orange rules were based on the water. It looks like they just turned it to regular water. I don't see orange text anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of had to, because the whole point was that it was extra hindering terrain, so it makes sense.
In the original one, it like stopped you like full bore if you like tried to go through it, so it just turned the entire middle section of the map into like a place where no one would place or move, basically. But yeah, this is for 50 points. This is a really solid little figure. It's almost reminiscent of that Robin, the Elseworlds Robin chase that could generate vehicles. But it's only 50 points.
Kelly, yeah.
It's in my opinion, like way better than that Robin because the stats are way better.
Yeah, I would play this Wonder Woman as a casual JSA. They need leadership, although then you give up the one that makes them use the team ability at range. And also, I haven't looked at how to build with this Pog with Jason Wingard, but there has to be something there. Just it's inherently interesting to have a vehicle or just access to that. So we'll see.
Oh, definitely.
And then also in the same sort of like slot of pictures, we got to see the backs of the Dyson token packs. This probably has me the most excited for Wonder Woman. So we see a Tortured Soul, which is what Hades used to have. We see this thing called a Rookie, which is the old, the Gordon Bat suit, which is just running shot, pen blast, impervious, 3 damage, special damage power, giant with indom, 7 range, 2 bolts. Which this is a great Pog. These are, no, I was about to say these are all, but like this is a great Pog for like a Jason call-in since do we have a running shot pen blast anymore? I think, is it just the maker that's got pen blast right now?
Stellax, but not great stats.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not amazing. Yeah, but like with this one, at least now impervious is a little bulkier, which is sweet. And then we get to see, and this is where the money really is. Red Sun Bizarro and Red Sun Green Light as Pogs, which makes me really hope, like fingers crossed. Totally makes sense. We're getting a Red Sun Wonder Woman, sure, whatever. I really hope we're getting a Red Sun Lex. I mean, the hero / antagonist, but like the real good guy, since Superman was technically a bad guy in the story. We needed a Lex for so long. Like I want like with just a crippling, put the whole world in a bottle like power. Like I want a really good, really, really good Red Sun Lex Luthor. And if he spits out this Bizarro and this Green Light, 2 things that he is responsible for like sort of creating, or at least the creation of in the comic. I just can't wait. Like Red Sun Lex is long overdue. Same thing like a KC Lex as well, but I'll take a Red Sun Lex. Will not be complaining here. And then we see a allied soldier, and then I guess they didn't want to put Axis or whatever on the card. So instead it's a German soldier.
Generic
for the
German
other
soldier.
I'm a German soldier. Oh, you mean no. Not just a German soldier. Let's keep it there. Let's keep it safe. Let's not.
I mean, Wonder Woman was in World War I, so
that is true. Actually, that is true. So that would make more sense as well. But yeah, we get allies and a German soldier, which is like they don't do much. I mean, I do like the allied soldier, running shot, enhancement, kind of mediocre stats. Is it sidestep, quake, energy explosion, or something on the German soldier? It's a little tough to read, but either way, curious to see who makes
9 attack, 3 damage with toughness or something. Okay, like that's what I see, but I can't make it out super.
Yeah, I can't really tell either. It's not quite clear.
Yeah. Obviously, some of them have indom, some of them don't. I imagine because the whole being able to ignore pushing damage and saying that indom is just going to be the new normal defense symbol, that could have changed any which way during set production. We all know sets are like genuinely in production about a year or so before they even come out. So people are like, oh, look at that. Was kids that didn't even get the whatever defense symbols right. And you're like, oh, they probably totally didn't have it ironed out, honestly, at this time. Or maybe they just got it wrong. Who knows? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they decided, hey, let's just get rid of pushing damage. Or maybe, who knows? But I would just say they probably didn't get it all totally ironed out. I would think the only thing that really affected set design was like which powers they were going to bench. Because if you make an article that says we're going to bench powers for a set, then it's like, yeah, but we didn't really know which ones we were going to do. So we just sort of had a general idea. And like, there's like 5 figures of hypersonic speed in the set. And you're like, oh, interesting. But we don't know that yet. I doubt that would be a thing. But it's just sort of funny to see a sort of behind the scenes little goof up. No matter what the cause may be, I think it's kind of funny.
I mean, it's the least consequential misprint that could have happened.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Literally does not. It's not like the legacy cards. It's only like a cosmetic change. Some weird actual wrong symbols. It's just a symbol that means the exact same.
Every set belongs to Captain America.
Yeah, baby. What can I say? We're Americans. We should take everything over. It's awesome. We get to see the front of the cards for the 10 gorgeous ladies of Wonder Woman in this starter. So those are all pretty cool. You can sort of not really make out like what they can do. Well, make out. I wish. Some of these chicks are. Anyways, moving on. We get to see some of the scenario cards, which are great. So we got Training Interrupted, Uncovering Cersei's Plan, Saving Wonder Girl, Titans Take Charge, Mystery at Mount Olympus, which sounds like a really fun time. I don't know why, but Mystery at Mount Olympus reminds me of like Betrayal House on the Hill, Dueling Rivals, Defeat Cersei. So Cersei's like really doubling down on just punch and beating up Cersei this week. And then Defend Paradise Island. So, and then obviously the maps have these sections. So they mentioned this before that you can take the maps apart and sort of switch them around. I believe these are both reprinted maps, right? Mount Olympus.
All 4 of them are reprints.
Okay, yeah. Not a huge fan of that, but if you were like a huge fan of these maps and when it was Modern Age, now it's Golden Age now, that's kind of cool. Like I did like King Arthur's Castle, and I'm glad it's sort of back in Otherworld, which is nice. Same thing, if they made like a Utopia West or whatever, the AVX map, I really enjoyed playing. If they reprinted that, I really wouldn't have any harsh words for them. So some people out there are probably happy about these map reprints.
Yeah, if it helps the listeners and they want to start playing on these maps now, you have Mount Olympus from Superman, Wonder Woman. I can't remember what it was called, but Paradise Island from the New 52 set, and then the both the Junkyard and the Wonder Woman barn are, I think, Elseworlds.
Yes, they are.
I think one might be starter, one might be main OP kit, but those are the 4.
Yeah, the opposite end of Junkyard
because the Wonder Woman barn
the brawl.
Yeah,
whatever.
They were different. Yeah, and then the Wonder Woman barn was the outdoor street for High Noon or whatever. So they weren't together, but now I guess they are. Which I would have preferred.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, the saloon,
Main Street.
Yeah, the saloon, and then the where you're gonna go have a showdown sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly. But probably the weirdest thing out of all of this starter news is that we get to see the speed powers for the pack, the front picture of the pack. And there's quite a bit of changes going on. Good old PJ Bolin, eagle-eyed PJ Bolin, the kilted Clixman, has typed them. Yeah, has typed them all up for us. This kind of blows my mind that they made a rules article saying just a couple of powers, and there's some damage powers, there's some speed powers, all over the place here and there. But then we just see just how big the changes are, or not big, but just how many the changes are to just speed powers, which makes me obviously lead to believe that defense, damage, attack are all going to be changed to relatively the same amount, where there's going to be some pretty substantial changes to all of them. There are some powers that are untouched, of course, like Flurry and whatever, pretty much the same. But the rest of them are either updated with the new at no cost wording, where they're just getting rid of that. So it's back to being free. So running shot and charge are now power, half speed, move, and then range is free. Your close is free, which is nice. So Green Lantern power battery, Science Police, all that stuff in Golden Age is once again super useful, which I'm a huge fan of. Another big change, and this is long time coming for people that were tired of explaining stealth, but Stealth is now, when it's not your turn, hindered lines of fire drawn to this character by non-adjacent characters are blocked, which means once you're adjacent, if you have like double circle arrow, shoot while adjacent, you can shoot them. If you want to outwit them, finally you can. So now if you're punching a guy in a bush, you can also outwit the guy in the bush. Amazing. Great. So chef's kiss. Glad we're here. Force Blast is probably the worst change out of all these. It's a pretty big bummer, but at the very least it's ranged now, I guess.
I mean, it's only a bummer
no
because
damage.
the knockback damage is gone, but
yeah,
it is a huge boost to the power as a whole. Like normally I would never power action Force Blast, but if someone's like got 6 range and they're within 6 of me and they don't have running shot, knocking them back isn't a terrible option. It's probably not something I'm going to hope to do. I'm not going to build around Force Blast since I can't damage people. But yeah, power minimum range 6 within range and line of fires would have been awesome. Literally,
My Cyclops is going to send your Captain America flying.
Yeah.
No, it would have been sweet. But Jay, what do you think about some of these like speed power? Oh, good. We're in agreement there because I cannot stand Cyclops either.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, stealth is obviously big. It annoys me on principle because that's basically the first question everybody asks when they start to play, right? Like, if you brought somebody into the game 2 years ago or a year ago and, that was like a big question and then they got an answer. Now it's different again. It's like, well, I was right the first time, right? So that's kind of...
Right.
It makes sense. It's just annoying to me on principle as like a rules person, but it is... I mean, yeah, if you can, know to punch somebody in the face, it definitely...
Thematically, stealth always made sense to me both ways. Like, if I'm next to them, then I'm close enough to punch, I should be able to, like, target them and, like, with outwit, perplex. And it's like, well, like, if you're in the shadows and you see, like, a dark, shadowy figure, you could punch at them. It's like, so let's say Batman's in, like, a dark alleyway. You could see that, like, his outline, you could, like, punch at his shape, but you wouldn't necessarily know, like, what kind of armor he's wearing or whatever. You wouldn't be able to, like, figure out the best way to, like, hit him. So, it made sense thematically why you couldn't outwit even when you were adjacent. I'm fine with the change. I just feel like stealth is it's not something that's as protective as it used to be with these changes, that's for sure.
I mean, improved targeting was just a thing a lot of the time, right? Like,
right.
I mean, Black Widow's still good, and she has that team ability. There's all sorts of, Yeah, now improved targeting has made stealth much less relevant for a long time now.
But now, like, my 20-point stealth or my 20-point outwit figure can do what a bunch of characters that needed improved targeting used to be able to do. So, like, Black Panther can move up next to somebody, and also without hindering terrain, stopping movement. You don't need that improved movement hindering or flight to get next to him. I feel like, you can just pop up, outwit, stealth, and I guess there will always be like cosmic power, team ability, and stuff like that to get around it. But
I'll take the trade-off of Batman they don't have to worry about giving Batman improved movement hindering for that. Like, that's a perfectly fine trade as far as I'm concerned.
For sure. A lot of characters that had to like stop as they moved into hindering, but they had stealth, and then if you ever needed to reposition them, they were just kind of worthless. Was really sad. Like, I can move 3 and there's no way I'm getting back into hindering doing that. Also with plasticity change, it looks like modifiers, well, I guess with plasticity and leap climb, hypersonic, all the wordings on that leads me to believe that anything that gave you a +1 or whatever to breakaway, that's just no longer a thing. Always succeed on a 6, always fail on a 1. And there's a few powers that are listed in plasticity, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any like calculating, all right, he's got 2 plasticity pieces and I've got hypersonic, so I'm at a -2, +2, I succeed on this kind of roll. It'll always just be that blanket effect.
Well, there are characters that have that. Like, what is it? I think Null has +3, -3. Like, they already said they'll account for that. So,
Right.
You know.
People that
I think there are
actually
random
has it
characters that also have a
explicitly
minus,
like listed on their card.
Yeah.
It is strange. So like the same thing like with the hypersonic speed change where they get rid of the modify +2 to breakaway. Obviously, this is at least not affected by plasticity, but now it's just like a normal breakaway roll for hypersonic speed. So it's a huge bummer. As an anti-Mary Marvel for life type guy, she does keep getting worse, which I'm a big fan of. But this is just kind of like, if you just enjoy hypersonic speed pieces, this is a little bit of a bummer. It changes the way you're going to play a hypersonic speed piece, not having that +2 to breakaway anymore. It is a little rough. Just sort of be like that sometimes, I guess. So yeah.
Huh.
Not a huge fan. Yeah. So like, you know, as a Flash fan, how do you feel? He can run up and just be like, oh, you stopped me. Normal breakaway roll. I may be super speedy, but you just sort of got me. So I'm just sort of here now.
Yeah, it'll take some getting used to. Maybe speedsters will get improved movement characters more. I don't know, but that is
right.
Huh. That's a problem.
Hopefully game design going forward, you know, takes an account for these things. Obviously, that's what we would all hope. But now, if you want to play, you know, just the old stuff keeps getting worse. It feels like some stuff gets better. Don't get me wrong. People like that have charge and close combat expert and whatever. Like, yeah, those pieces get amazing, way better. But for just like normal hypersonic speed pieces, like we just go back to whatever, where like Superman's got hypersonic super strength and he's like, well, he can't use the object anymore. He can still knock you back. The knockback doesn't do damage. And then also he can't get a +2 modifier to his breakaway. So it's a normal breakaway roll. And you're just like, well, dang, kind of neutered Superman. But I mean, the new one's good. He's cool. But you kind of neutered my old favorite Superman. What are you doing? You know?
Well, I just noticed that Charge doesn't have the can't be knockback thing. So if you can get them Force Blast, you know, if you give them an influence ring, you can, if you hit, you can knock them back. Yeah, it seems it feels like they're going a little all in on the getting rid of all the details, but it feels like a lot of the flavor is going away in the name of simplicity.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that I love that the Charge thing was like a make or break thing, but it's just like one more thing. So
my biggest hope with all these changes is that like my characters will still feel thematic, because it does definitely feel like they're streamlining it. Like reading through this list, if I was a new player, I feel like this would all be fairly intuitive and there's not a ton of questions like left to be had. Of course, people will make questions where there aren't necessary, like they aren't necessary to have questions. They'll be like, well, when I'm like leap climbing next to somebody with plasticity and I like, you know, there's two people with plasticity. Well, it doesn't say anything about like plasticity being a double up effect anymore. So I feel like those questions will still be there. I also like Earthbound Neutralize. This character can't use improved movement or targeting. Of course, the whole pushing thing, it used to be you couldn't use willpower as well. So that's gone away with. But I don't think improved targeting was part of that one. So it's interesting that they are getting around that as well. It's
strange because now that just doesn't really feel, besides the improved movement part, it doesn't feel much like I am Earthbound neutralized, quote unquote.
Especially
getting rid of willpower was like a huge change in 2017. Hindering. Right. Especially when you ignore hindering. I feel like if they would have done something where it's like, you ever try to move, like you have to half speed for like every move action on top of any other like effect, right? Like it doesn't, like Earthbound Neutralize just doesn't feel as bad as it could, which makes it feel less thematic. You know, in my opinion, like in order for that power to be thematic, you have to feel like, dang, I gotta get off Earthbound Neutralize. But nowadays, it's just like, oh, it sucks. I don't have a useful speed power, but it's still not that terrible. Like, okay, I don't have improved movement or targeting, but that's not the worst thing in the world. And I get it. Sometimes I can make or break a character, but normally at the point where you're at Earthbound Neutralized later in the dial, it doesn't seem like such a big deal, I guess, to me anyways. Maybe like taking away the ability to make a ranged combat attack or something. I don't know, but I feel like you could make it more thematic and just make it a more crippling power as it should be. You're Earthbound Neutralized. You're stuck. You're whatever, beat up or in a bad spot right now, not super powered. supposed to like the depowered version of you, like Iron Man suit's turned off, or the Hulk isn't the Hulk yet. He's he's Bruce Banner. So.
I mean, even fumbling with Earthbound since 2017 rules changes. I don't know. I'm kind of over. I mean, it's also not so common. It's just, I don't know. It feels like if you're going to have it, make it mean something. I don't know.
The biggest effect I've ever had with Earthbound neutralized is using Living Tribunal when he does his judgment thing and can give all opposing characters Battle Fury in Earthbound. And that wasn't like a competitive aspect in the game at all. Living Tribunal was very hard to pull that off, even in a casual setting. But it's funny because if you have Colossals on your team and for some reason they get Earthbound neutralized, they can't use their improved targeting, but your opponent would still be able to draw a line of fire to them, I believe. So
yep, they would. You can still shoot them as good, but they're damaged and can't move past a book. Yeah, it was always a bit silly. Or how you could you could still carry. You can still carry if you have Earthbound in your flyer. So Ironheart's suit is breaking, but she can still carry. I don't know.
Yeah. Can't fly over buildings, but can carry people.
But all right. Sort of to keep going and to move along with the show, we've been talking about how these powers are going to affect older figures. Well, another thing that might affect older figures is Kenny Pena's public blog post. Sort of weird. I don't know. Maybe WizKids was like, no, you don't get the keys to the blog today. You make your post somewhere else. Shoo, Kenny, shoo. I don't know how it works. I don't understand the inner workings. But he posted in Heroclix players, collectors around the world, and Heroclix International Exchange, two very big Heroclix player groups on Facebook. Says, hey, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and currently enjoying the new release of Fantastic Four Future Foundation. I am, Kenny. Thank you for asking. It's a fun set. There has been a lot of buzz with Heroclix as of late. I wanted to add some more to it. Just wanted to share that very soon a new format will be announced without getting into specifics. Let's just say figures that aren't modern age will be happy to hear it. It won't be a total surprise since we're looping in older figures via legacy cards. That's it for now, but stay tuned as we've got way more news to share after Scott Porter's Wonder Woman videos start going live next week. So that's cool. The only concrete stuff he gave us was that we're going to make a blog post in 2 weeks. Now it's only 1 week, and then Scott Porter's videos are going to start dropping this coming week. So that's going to be tomorrow, aka today for you listeners. So go ahead, check out the latest Scott Porter unboxing video at the WizKids YouTube channel. So what could this be? I don't want to get my hopes too up that WizKids is going to have an official Golden Age or Bronze Age style format. I think the easiest thing for them to do to make a format is just have an official WizKids ban list. I think that would be pretty cool. Besides that, I don't know what it could be. If it's anything like Skirmish, it's not going to see a lot of play. So what do you guys think either the format could be, or what do you think they might be cooking up behind the scenes?
Skirmish didn't have a chance to exist because it was basically right before the pandemic, right? So
right.
That is true. Yeah.
I think, in Skirmish also, in original play testing, they did a bunch of kind of tweaking to it, and it became certain powers were just really good in Skirmish, and certain characters inherently became really good in Skirmish because of that. But I haven't, since they first tweaked it, I haven't actually played it. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say that it would be some sort of rotating. I would guess past years rotation, so they'd have a modern age and then a previous year modern age, so they'd the current format for whatever this format is called would be whatever rotated out last year and the year before. I don't think they're going to go too deep in diving into Golden Age to fix stuff. That just seems like a huge undertaking that wouldn't even really be worth it for most stuff, but I have no idea.
Well, thankfully they have kind of a template to go on, or they kind of have some information from Bronze, right? They have their ban list, and it's kind of tested elsewhere, so that's helpful. That's
true, yeah. It'll also be interesting if that changes how they errata figures moving forwards, because Faust never actually got a ban. He was just retired early, which was fine for WizKids Senior, but for WizKids Junior, the rest of the community, we always have to specify in Golden Age games that he's not allowed, kind of thing.
Well, they
Right.
did
So, like,
do
that's another thing.
They did do a skirmish ban list, so it stands to reason they would be okay with doing that for this format, right? Like, obviously, you have to ban certain things, like
Right.
no doubt, like Faust and other stuff that I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah.
Rick Jones, Black Swan, any infinite loop weird stuff, whatever, auto crazy win conditions.
Just bite the bullet
But,
and get rid of Fast
yeah.
Forces Penguin already.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I miss Fast Forces Penguin.
Yeah.
It was so hard to find
Saying
a
that, I said
friendly
I missed
character
out.
you could punch. I just want to punch my own friendly character over and over again, and it's not a thing anymore.
There's just a lot you can do with that. There's just a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the ban list for skirmish because I honestly kind of forgot about it because I was about to go off in this whole thing where it's like, yeah, I know they only early rotate stuff. They never had a ban list, but yeah, they do have a skirmish ban list. So I feel like a Golden Age ban list, official WizKids Golden Age ban list, in my idea of Heroclix, that makes the most sense to me. But they've probably never ever done anything how I thought they should do it in this game. So I'm definitely wrong. So I'm just going to be tentatively curious to see what this potential Golden Age event format is going to be. And I'm just glad. I'm glad because we haven't had a Golden Age event since I was 2013 or something.
Yeah,
with
that was the
Jake Williams, cop cars and whatever.
Yeah,
So,
that was 2013. I mean, were there not Golden Age casual side whatevers at events? Maybe not.
there's at Worlds they had side events at Worlds that me and Simeon both played in. None of them were Golden Age though. There were some fun ones. There's some really sweet ones. There was one team had to be just DC, just Marvel, just Star Trek and Turtles, and then one was
Are you here
had to have
explaining an
one of
event
each.
that I ran?
Oh yeah, that's right, Jay. Oh, I feel so bad.
I was waiting for it.
Oh,
but-
it's okay. I'm just messing with you, but yeah.
I have such a bad memory. My bad. But yeah, there were fun events at Worlds. There weren't any Golden Age ones, sadly. There was Golden Age pricing with Shredder's Return, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's
well, they didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't say what it was before, and then
Yeah.
Shredder's Return.
A factory case or factory set of shredders.
Which at the time could still fetch you a pretty good buck selling the Shredders. So that's still great pricing.
Yeah, I got.
but yeah.
I think I got a Superman Prime for coming in third in that event. So I
That's
definitely
right.
didn't complain about.
Getting a better prize than first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Some scumbags took home first, right? I'm pretty sure. It was just
yeah.
some real piece of
Some
work.
terrible person. I can't. Bad churd saw maybe.
Yeah.
Not
something like that.
positive, but
But all right, so let's go ahead, get the gears going. I like that. I was like, hey, Heroclix is a buzz. And Kenny's like, you want to know some more stuff? And we're like, oh boy, more things for Heroclix players to post about online and get into arguments with. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
just speculate constantly.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
constant speculation. New rule speculation, what's going on with product getting pushed back speculation, and then boom, new format speculation. I love it. Thank you. It's exactly what I needed. Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank
makes
you.
me want to say childish Gambino fire pizza .gif in response to that post.
Thank you, Simeon. Thank you. So few
Little,
people understand that.
That's fine.
You said I know that was a really weird way to that was.
You could have said the community or the community GIF or something else. You didn't even say his
It's
name.
the one
all right.
the one that
Thanks,
Kenny
Simeon.
always posts at the very bottom of any post that's just gone to trash, and Kenny sees it, and that's always his go-to GIF.
You know what I think every time I see Kenny comment on something? Did he have fun with those dolphins? I just see him. He looks so happy when he's swimming with the dolphins. And I'm like, man, I want to swim with dolphins. That looks so cool. Tell me about it, man.
He was trying to
And he's
tell us
just
back
posting
then,
it.
hey, dolphin symbol's going to be real good in a few years.
That's true. How could we not know? Kenny's... Watch him change his profile picture to something else. We just start speculating. What does it mean? But all right. Moving on.
It'll be interesting if you're playing against somebody in this Golden Age format and they're playing two copies of a character but one of them is the original, one of them is the legacy card. It's gonna be really weird if that ever happens.
Ooh,
yeah. It's strange.
I mean, I guess we kind of actually no, we can't. You can't do that with team up cards because you can't have doubles. So that'll be interesting,
Right?
No, that's the one that has no. That's the like no. They both have no. Never wait. Which card? I don't even. Yeah.
Team
So
up
we'll
is
see how
the
that-
Highlander one. Legacy.
You're right, exactly. So
Yeah.
it can't. Yeah, so you don't have.
team
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I remember years and years ago, I wasn't playing this game. My friend was playing a game against somebody, and he's like, "I have this power." He's like, "No, you don't." He's like, "It's an alternate card," and he was right, just many years too early. So
Truly a pioneer of the time. Wow.
I mean,
What a guy.
not as much as Simeon with the willpower, but
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
No, that's insane. It
Who
blows my
could
mind
have
to me. There's
foreseen
That
some
was
real,
the first thing I thought of. Not gonna lie.
Truly, who could have foreseen that coming to pass? Where you would eventually
Inner
get to roll
circle
for willpower
intensified.
on your turn.
You being right about something? Yeah, I agree.
that blew my mind. But that's it. That's it for news this week. It was a weirdly slow yet busy week of just so many oddball, interesting things. No new articles, nothing crazy like that, but just so much weird stuff. But all right, guys, it's time to get into this is my favorite game. Gonna play a little Bad Samaritan, a game that's sweeping the nation, and I guess now it's sweeping two nations since we got an international guest on the show. Bad Samaritan is a game where I have 3 modern age Heroclix figures, and it's up to Simeon and Jay to guess who they are. We'll do one figure at a time. They will get one clue at a time. Then they will guess, and if they don't get it, we'll go on to a second round of clues. If they don't get it after a second round of clues, we'll go on to a third round of clues. And if they still don't get it after getting 3 clues about this modern age figure, then I will get a point. If Jay or Simeon guesses the figure correctly in any of those rounds, they individually will get a point. They can work together as a team to sort of talk out who they think it could potentially be. But if they both come to the same conclusion, sadly, the person who says it first is going to get the point for that round. If you want to play at home, you can go ahead. After I give you the clue, you can pause the podcast before you hear the conjecture and guesses between Jay and Simeon. And then you can go ahead and make your own guess. And then you can hit play and you can listen to them. Go ahead and say. So we have 20 clues. Simeon's got a 1 through 20 number generator. I've chosen a figure. Boom. Card in front of me. Let's go ahead, roll up random number generator. I'll give you the first clue.
All right, the first clue for figure 1 is going to be clue number 10.
Ooh, clue number 10 is a good one. That is going to be name of special power. This character's special power is because boomerang.
Because boomerang.
And if you want more info, it's because ellipses boomerang. So it's because period boomerang.
I think I got it.
All right.
I am well known to remember things. I think I got it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the talking about it works. Like if I say the name and that I don't want.
Yeah, you
if
can
I
just
like say the name, does
kinda
that count as a
workshop
guess?
it. And then
You can sort of be like hum and haw, and you can mention other people. You can be like, oh, I think
Is it like final
it might
answer
be Finn
rules?
Balor. Yeah, it's final answer. Like you'll be like, I think it could be XYZ, but you're like, okay, I'm gonna lock in with Y
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yeah, I think it's the Captain America Fast Force as Hawkeye.
Okay, getting specific. Oh
Okay.
baby.
I mean,
good
that's
stuff.
but yeah. I'm pretty. I definitely remember the one from AI having a boomerang power. I think I remember him having one too. Can't remember what it was. I think it was like. Was that like the one where he could like wrap around a corner for line of fire or something, or make a dub? I'm
Yeah, he
99%
could wrap
sure,
around a
though,
corner.
but I guess we can also get more clues.
yeah, and guessing Hawkeye will be a catch-all for all the Hawkeyes. So
That
that
sorry
definitely-
about being too specific.
threw me for a loop
But-
because I'm a simple man, so I was instantly just thinking Captain Boomerang.
We know.
Or the Superior Foes Boomerang, but I don't think either of those have really been remade here recently in modern. So,
No, not since. No, it's been a while.
yeah.
I
So,
don't know,
luckily-
Simeon, do you have a guess?
I'm I'll say the other Barton. I'll say Trickster or Trickshot, not Trickster.
Ooh. Yeah, there you go. It's like that. And that's a DC character. But yes, Trickshot is whatever Francis or Eugene Bart, whoever the heck the other guy's name is. But all right, so we have specifically the Fast Forces Captain America and the Avengers Hawkeye for Jay, and then we have the Captain American main set Trickshot for Simeon. It is going to be dang, that I got a really bad clue to give you guys right away, because yes, it is the Fast Forces Hawkeye. That will be Jay's point.
I told you I'm good at this.
It's like the only thing that could really give him away right away. And I'm like, oh, yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing he does of any note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening speed power, or like click length.
Yeah, dude, anything else, you're like, it's just a figure with running shot. Who could it be? But now it's like, nope, that's because Boom.
Yeah,
we got it.
Yeah.
But all right. Figure number 2. Jay might kill it this week. He might, stake a maple leaf flag into this game, claim it for Canada. Who knows?
He is doing better than Lucas did, so.
I mean, I only need to get 1 out of 2 more to win, so we'll see.
Yes.
All right.
Simeon.
First clue for figure 2 is going to be clue 15.
All right. Ooh, clue 15 is going to be opening defense power. This character has invincible. Wow.
Great.
Let's see.
Like, I guess you can make a guess. There's a guess as good as anything else, right? So
it's true. Borg Queen is still modern, so I'll go with Borg Queen. I'll stand Borg Queen until she rotates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I'll say Thanos, but I was specifically thinking of the Ultra Chase.
Okay, gotcha. It is going to be locked in for Borg Queen, locked in for Thanos, and or the Ultra Chase Thanos. It is going to be neither of those. Thankfully, we get past round number 1, and we go on to round number 2. I know. Who knew they couldn't get it right with just invincible being a clue?
All right. Second clue for figure 2. We've got clue number 1.
Ooh, clue number 1 is going to be point value. This character's highest point value is 150 points.
150. Oh.
Wait, does that mean
and
that
everything is always going to be highest point value?
So do they?
No, it's just so if they have multiple clicks of life, or like there's another clue where it's like top dial stats, it'll always be their highest point value.
So they do have invincible top dial.
Yes, they have invincible top dial.
Right.
It's just a printed, just invincible defense power, just pink.
Oh, I know it's definitely nothing from Batman animated. That doesn't say much, though.
Be hard to say if anything from the last couple DC sets. I mean, Rebirth definitely had that higher point value.
I mean, there's Turner Point Dark Side, but like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I know Ultron was 150. I think he started with Invincible, but that's not leaving it open to other characters. So,
yeah, Borg Queen sadly capped out at 100. So I'm pretty sure at this point that it's not her.
I don't think anything from Star Trek is that high. Actually, that's not true. Q has a 300 to 400 point value.
Yeah, Q's the one huge exception. Both Q's are the highest point figures in those sets, but
yeah,
definitely the outliers.
This is not easy.
And well, it's definitely not Immortal Hulk because he starts out on the
and he's 100
dial, and he's 100 points. But War Machine or Punisher War Machine,
he's 90.
He's 90.
Dear God, this feels like a throwaway line. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm going to guess not Emperor Vulcan, so I'll just say regular. I'll just say Vulcan. Because I know Emperor Vulcan just reduces penetrating damage wholesale, so he doesn't need invincible.
I think you're wrong about the point value, but you do you.
Yeah, man, I probably am, but at this point I can't think of a 150 point figure for some reason, other than like all the Dooms, but I could not pick which one has plain invincible. Because I know
I don't think any of them do.
He has
I
special
think-
like.
Oh, he has it
defense.
as a special. I almost had it, but I realized. Just one more second. God. Oh no, I guess I'll say Ultron. That was my first thought, and we'll stick with it.
Okay, so we go with Chase Ultron.
I
is that
mean
right?
Ultron, but I was specifically thinking of the chase.
Okay. Gotcha. We have Ultron. Simeon, who did you have locked in again? I'm not going to lie, I spaced out there a little bit, like most times when you talk.
Vulcan. Plain
Vulcan, gotcha. So
non-emperor Vulcan.
it's going to be Vulcan. Well, it's going to count for both of them, Simeon, all right? I don't make the rules, except yes, I do. All right, it's going to be locked in for Ultron. Going to be locked in for Vulcan. It is going to be neither of those. I'm feeling pretty good as we move into round 3 here.
All right, third clue is going to be clue number 2.
Clue number 2 is going to be point value. Oh, no, wait. Let's roll that again, huh?
We'll go with clue number 9.
Yeah, there you go. Clue number 9 is going to be top dial stats. Oh boy, this character is a 10, 11, 18, and 4. They have 8 range. Top dial statisticals. For all you statistical people out there.
That's not helpful.
8 range is higher than average, but not crazy high for someone that's 150 points.
Huh. Top 11, 18, 450 invincible. Yeah, that's not as helpful as one would like.
Not super fast.
Okay, well, so definitely nothing in Batman. Battle World is. I think anything in Earth X. Oh, man.
I'm just gonna go with.
Taking this.
I'm just gonna go
Yes,
with
Simeon.
Doom because
Tell me. Doom. That'll cover all the Doctor Dooms, all the Dooms, all the Doom something.
we got
Annihilating.
what, like
Doctor,
six
all caps.
chases that are 150 point lines.
There's like at least like 12, 13 Dooms in Modern, so it's not a bad guess.
I was gonna say Captain Marvel, but I think she's invulnerable top dial. I think she only gets invincible on the stops. God, I don't know. I guess I'll go with a kind of feel like a catch-all of Iron Man. Feels fine.
All right, so we got Iron Man, we got Doctor Doom. It is going to be neither of those. Ladies and gentlemen, I will take home a point myself. It is 058 from Earth X, Loki.
Okay.
Wow.
That was one. Yeah, okay. That was that was not a good set of clues for that guy. Definitely.
No.
Yeah. Trait or
All right, so we have
keyword
Figure.
would have been.
Yeah, I don't think that was really. That was not possible.
No.
I don't think, but we have one
So
more.
the game
chance.
right now, Jay's got a point. I've got a point. Simeon could potentially get a point and tie it. Me or Jay could get a point and take home the win. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I
Simeon,
want to
round
Ralph
3.
Figure this, Simeon.
I'll do my best. I have a real bad track record with Bad Samaritan, though. First clue for figure 3 is going to be number 8.
Number 8 is going to be improved movement or targeting. Oh, I really hate to do this to you guys. This character does not have any improved movement or targeting.
Sweet.
Nice.
I imagine it's going to be a character from the Wonder Woman set. I'll go with. Let's see. I'll go with Industrial Spy because he's got the espionage trait. It's not actually printed on his card, so. Yeah.
Does that count? Do combat symbols like flight?
Yes. So I'm specifically talking about
Okay.
around their like character head symbol.
Right. So it has to be the
you know,
improved
whether or not-
symbol. I don't know.
Right.
I'll go with
The
Thor.
bullseye or like the dude running. All right.
Yeah.
So we got one for Thor. It's gonna cover all those Thor Odinsons. And there's actually a couple of Thor Odin daughters here in Modern. And then it's also gonna cover Industrial Spy. So locked in, it is gonna be neither of those. Clue number 2, round number 3.
All right, second clue. Number 4.
Number 4 is going to be number of clicks. This character is 5 clicks deep.
Ah, good.
Amazing.
So every character from the Fantastic Four, pretty much from not the newest, the Future Foundation, but the previous one, almost all of them were right around 5 or 6.
Dear God.
This is where I start racking my brain for what theme Calder was going with. So
There is
Wait,
no
there a
theme. There is no theme. I will say that. There is no theme. I did not somehow chain Loki and Hawkeye in this last figure together in any weird thematic way. These were honestly just like the first. Here's the theme. I own the majority of these sets, and so I just pulled it out of the set boxes as opposed to pulling it out of my big long deck card box holder. So there's a sort of theme. So if you want to come into my house and ravage my Heroclix, you're like, oh, what sets does he have almost completed? Yeah.
Well, I think Captain America is generally going to be 6 clicks, so we're going to count him out. Just count him out, unfortunately.
I'll go with.
Hate you.
I want to do something like super, like something that's like spread around quite a bit, but that doesn't actually help me because 5 clicks deep, it doesn't always mean the same from set to set for the same character. I'll go with Isaiah Bradley from the Cap set.
Okay. Locked in with Isaiah Bradley.
I'll channel my inner George and go with Lex Luthor.
Okay. Locked in with Lex Luthor and Isaiah Bradley. It is going to be neither of those. So it's figure number 3, clue number 3. I didn't know George was a big Lex Luthor fan. I freaking love Lex Luthor. He's one of my favorite characters.
If there's ever been a competitive Lex, he's run it. Like Trinity War Lex,
awesome.
he ran.
Oh, dude.
Lex. Yeah.
That Trinity War Lex was awesome. I always say this story, but I was like, he's a great call-in battery. So I for the States that year, I made a Trinity War Lex team. It was obviously bad. It was like a Metropolis theme team with like the Lex from BBS movie and then like a henchman. And then it had like the Avengers Roundtable for call-in batteries. And then like a week later, I saw like somebody else's build and I'm like, oh, that's a much better build. But I was like, whoa, I sort of had the same idea that was going on there. And I'm like, yeah, it's a figure that can't be targeted. It's 200 points. Duh. It's a good call-in battery, bro. But yeah, no, I played the heck out of that Lex Luthor. He's so awesome. But all right. Last clue, Simeon.
The third subterfuge token is number 17.
Number 17 is a free play. I can tell you anything. Well, not anything you want to know about this figure, but I can give you any one clue. The clues are from 1 to 16 here is going to be significant appearance, point value set, number of clicks, rarity and set number, named keyword or generic keyword, improved movement and targeting, top dial stats, name of a special power, name of a trait, and then any special combat symbols. And then the last 4 are going to be opening movement, attack, defense, or damage. Those are all separate. So what do you want me to tell you about this figure, guys?
So we have no improved movement, 5 clicks. I don't think set's going to narrow it down enough.
I'm leaning towards trait or special power, so I don't know.
Yeah. I say name of
But
trait.
then if we guess wrong, well, like, if they don't have it, then we're just screwed. So,
that's very true. But like even narrowing it down to a set is still probably going to be half of that set. So yeah, I'm with you with either name of a special power or a trait. I usually lean more towards trait.
Yeah, I feel like they like giving a lot of teamy traits, so I would agree. I agree with you there.
All right. You guys locked in for trait?
Name a trait, yeah. Yes.
This character, the name of this character's trait is nothing. This character does not have a trait.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
No. Untraded.
Well, it's not Steve Rogers. That's for sure.
No improved movement or targeting. And 5 clicks long. The most generic, vanilla, common probably, or uncommon figure.
Oh God. Yeah, basic, yeah.
I mean, even at this point, even most uncommons have some sort of trait.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who just doesn't have traits. Like, that's just not a thing.
Yeah. I mean, in most
it
sets,
could be a completely vanilla like, there's just so few vanilla dials. Like, it's just not a thing anymore.
oh man,
I mean, it could have a special power, but
that's true. It could be a special power. 5 clicks makes me think it's probably not just some generic whatever dude. But even then, like, Nuke Clone's a generic and it has a trait, so
right, that's the problem. It's so, yeah, I mean, maybe it had neither. Maybe we were screwed either way. Dang.
Let's see.
It doesn't. Yeah, everybody has a team trait now.
Yeah, that takes out the entire JLU roster.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
In Justice League,
yeah,
most characters in that have at least that trait. Fantastic Four, almost everyone in Fantastic Four had some sort of trait. Same with Spider-Man, Venom. House of X, was there anything in House of X that was even kind of...
Well, no, there's the X-Force trait. Oh.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Oh, no, nothing. No, I'll just keep talking. Keep talking amongst yourselves. Figure it out. Simeon knows me well enough that he should be able to guess. Not what this figure is, but just about the last thing he said.
What was the last thing he said?
Oh, that it wouldn't be an X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, so it might be.
Yeah, so it's a set that Calder probably owns the majority of, so definitely not X-Men related.
Muties go home. I hate muties. I'll get one of those like signs where it's like that dude pointing at Nightcrawler. It sucks because like I like Nightcrawler and I'm so mad that like that's the meme, but like muties go home. You're not. What is that thing? It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, Captain. I mean, I feel like the Captain America set's also out. Like, there's all the espionage and
just like that. Very pervasive. And ABPI had the like I sense a greater challenge traits, and
everybody in Battle World had a trait. Like every single version of whatever Battle World had a trait. That whole set's out.
I don't feel like they've made a Batman recently that didn't have a trait of some sort.
There's a 5-click. There is a common Batman, but from Batman Animated, but he has a improved movement.
Oh, okay. Man. Everyone from the Captain America and Black Widow set, I think for sure had traits. I will just say...
literally everybody in Black Widow had, like, if I'm on a theme trait or something.
Something or other. Or espionage, or... Yeah. I'll just throw out Superman, which is a bad guess given Calder's...
Really?
For a 5 clicks?
That 5-click long Superman.
Do you want to rethink that one?
Top value.
I said I was just throwing it out. I didn't say I was
okay.
married.
I thought you were saying okay. Just really scared me that you were locking it in.
Throwing it out, not throwing it away. Come on, Simeon.
Scared me.
Gosh, I can't think of a modern set that doesn't have just a ton of traits saturated throughout it. Maybe one of the Earth X Inhumans. Do they?
No, they all have the Terrigenesis
twice with the Perplex thing. Okay, that's what I.
And then Excalibur all have a trait. The Hydra all have traits.
The Enforcers all have some sort of
new boss. Yeah,
either new boss or the Terrigenesis ones.
It's either going to be that the special. There's either going to be no special power, or it's going to be a special power that was so obvious. I don't feel like we were good either way, man.
All right. Yes. Well, my little egg timer says time is up, and I'm going to need some guesses.
Oh, I didn't know that's a thing.
No, it's not really time. We've sort of been humming and hawing for a while, and I'm kind of tired.
I mean, I guess it could be anybody from the simple... No, all the simple dials were... It could be anybody from the
it could
Battlegrounds
be a Fast Force or a Battleground kind of character.
It could be 5-click Captain America for all we know, but...
It's not a terrible...
What did I already guess? I guessed Lex, and I guess... What's my other guess? I can't even remember what my other guess was. I don't know. On principle, there's at least one
Who's Thor?
correct.
Is that your
Like
first
Captain
guess?
America
Thor?
could be correct from that sense. I guess I'm fine with that one.
Going Cap. I'll go with Iron Man, just to double down on the
Okay.
battleground idea.
All right, we have one guess for Captain America, one guess for Iron Man. I do approve of these guesses. They're pretty good. Mostly I approve because they're both wrong.
Oh.
No, this is actually from Fantastic Four Future Foundation 021, none other than the Human Torch, but not the Fantastic Four Future Foundation Human Torch. This is the Skrull Human Torch we're talking about here. All of the Skrulls in this set don't have any traits or special powers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So this one was also
huge fan.
No flight.
So you so our first guess was really lucky, but then the other two were not easy. Okay.
Yeah. They were tough calls. I think it was the clues. Yes, that is true. Well, I don't know if we consider Simeon the bar necessarily, but yes, you did do better than Simeon. So good job, guys. Thank you guys so much for playing Bad Samaritan. It's always a fun time. It's always a good time. Shoot, next time we ought to make like the guests do it. Just because I used to play Bad Samaritan all the time and I had a fun time with it. Now I choose the figures. I don't know what it's like to play anymore. I don't feel the pain, but that's all right. Let's just go ahead, round out the show here, and move into community.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
I don't think we have any questions this week, and if we did, I didn't check. So let's just go ahead and read a Jedi Legend Heroclix tip of the week.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
I like it when we get these tips, especially in this uncertain time. Gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Anyways, we kind of, they're weird tips because we don't know what the rules changes are all going to be. But he says hypersonic speed grants an attack. Attacks are not close or ranged or power or free in like the all caps like sense. So an attack cannot activate flurry, which requires close. You cannot flurry hypersonic speed. Normally, there are some people that do it, which is really cool. There's like a Quicksilver that does it. There's probably a Flash that does it. I imagine there's got to be. And then there was that weird Whizzer guy from Deadpool that did something to this effect.
There's also
No, he didn't flare. He just got to make 2 attacks. But
he just got to do 2. Oh, right.
Cool.
But yeah, no flurry hypersonic speed. None of that jazz going on. It's got a great Age of Ultron. You didn't see that coming GIF? Man, makes me think about WandaVision. Not going to talk about it, though. Not going to spoil WandaVision for you guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
My Twitter is just full of it. I watched it immediately, but my God, people are just
So here's
no
the thing.
respect.
To go on like a side tangent, I thought like the rules for movies is like 2 weeks to a month. Give someone time to see a movie. The rules for like TV show, I always thought it was like a week or so, like, hey, episode came out, give it like 4 or 5 days or at least a week, give people like the benefit of the doubt. WandaVision, I had a friend, not even like a spoiler on Twitter or Facebook. I had a friend message me like a picture, like a meme, and like it was blank. And I'm like, really? Are you serious? Did you just personally message me a spoiler for this show? Blows my mind. These people.
Yeah, I have a worse one. I am not even close to caught up on The Mandalorian. I'm still in season 1. But the day after, I saw like an actor. I'm going to be extremely vague. An actor posted a complete spoiler like the day of. It's like, really? Like, thanks for nothing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Do you not want people to watch the show that you were in? I mean, come on. Why would you?
Was it Tom Holland that did it? That notorious.
I didn't know he was ever in The Mandalorian.
It's not in The Mandalorian, but thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for
Spoiler.
Nice try. Tom Holland didn't.
Speaking of
spoil
Tom
something.
Holland, yeah, he did. I'm excited for Spider-Man. What is it called? Not even
No Way Home.
Something. No Way Home. Really bummed it's not Home on the Range. I had a lot of stake. It wasn't even on the whiteboard for potential names. But that's okay. It's just sort of the way it is. But that will bring a close to our show. Before we do all our reading out and all of this jazz and plugging all our stuff, Jay, why don't you just go ahead and take the mic, tell the people about your podcast, your show, and tell them about the tournament that you are running. It's for a good cause, so like take as much time as you need to explain the tournament, try to get some people involved.
Yeah, I mean the podcast. It's a podcast. We have JSAclix podcast. We have a group and a Patreon and a Discord because those are all mandatory. We talk about a mix of things a lot of the time. I mean, we do very comprehensive set reviews. We do them. We put them out in pieces, usually by rarity. Although with Future Foundation, we just did all the Captain Sidekicks or whatever in the same one. But just whatever's relevant. Like, we haven't talked about like bronze ever, but if it comes up, it comes up. So really, whatever's relevant. Devin Owens is the permanent co-host. What's his name is usually on that one guy.
Bad Churdsall.
What's his name? I can't. Simeon. You remember his name?
Bad Churdsall, I think.
Brad Bird. I think it's Brad Bird. But the important thing is that the important thing is that I guess we didn't talk about this before, but I guess we can mention that surprise prize here because that hasn't come out yet, nor have I told people there's a surprise prize. But point being, we are running a online sealed charity tournament for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We did lose a Heroclix player last year. Not Oxit Bill Barrett, because there are two, but Bill Barrett from, I don't know if he was Western New York, but at least I played against him at WNY Gaming. But, and I personally, extended family, just too many people. But point being, it's a good cause. We have, like I said, like 31 players now. I guess as of when the podcast gets published, it'll be the last day to sign up, I suppose, because it comes out tomorrow. I mean, it's a good cause, so I can accept extenuating circumstances, sort of last-minute entries. But if you want to do that, just check the JSAclix page. I've been posting it a lot. Or for some reason, you can check my personal page if that's easier for you. But we have... we are running 3 booster Future Foundation sealed because you kind of gotta with that set with all the sidekicks that are all the 10-point little duders. So it is $10 minimum donation to enter. We have mulligans, where you just redraw your packs. Costs are $5 to start and then increases by $5. We've had somebody do as many as 4. So we've raised, it's over $600 now. I think it's like $650. Charity probs. So there's so much prizing. Like a Jeremiah Peterson tray. I'm throwing in my Rock King's Tomb Blood map. Devin Owens threw in an Ultra Chase Thanos. Like a Thor with Mjolnir, which I guess might be more relevant in whatever WizKids golden equivalent is. Just way too much prizing. So yeah, if you want to donate, just to donate, you can do that. The link is pretty much everywhere. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Seems like people are having a good time opening.
If you don't have
building
time to participate,
yeah, like I said.
Also join in and just do the helping hands probs. If there is someone that's participating, you can jump in and donate to give them some rerolls. And so you don't have to actually be there for the whole tournament.
Generally, that's been generally the rule. Like it's fun and ideal. You don't have to if you want to just buy somebody charity props. That's fine. But yeah, like I said, due date to sign up is the 8th, but builds are only due on the 10th. So if a bunch of people randomly want to sign up on the 9th, I won't stop them necessarily, but I will scowl. Although not in person, but I will scowl. So, yeah. And I guess we didn't use it for the promo, but we have U2, for some God only knows reason, decided to be very generous and chip in a cameo. Right? I don't know. What was his name again? That one person who plays Heroclix?
I
Just
think
that
it's
one guy.
Pot Scooter. I don't know.
Something like that.
He does some pretty...
Yeah, so the win. So in addition...
He's from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind
Real
of funny.
famous Nebraska guy. Yeah.
He actually came to my venue and played near the end of last year. I think he was filming the thing that's out now. What's it called?
Oh, it's like Gina and George or something like that.
Jenny and something,
like that.
whatever that is. I think that was actually filmed here. He played at our venue a couple times with Scott Porter.
They film a lot in Toronto, don't they? Like, there's a lot of filming.
Oh yeah,
it's just
it's
there.
yeah.
They Supernatural and all sorts of stuff.
They filmed Batman versus Suicide Squad, one of the car chases, as well as some of the subway scenes. A lot of different stuff. But yeah, the winner. The exact pricing structure is to be determined because I have to see how many people there are and see how things play out. But we have so much pricing. But they'll get a nice Scott Porter cameo. I don't know how long those can go, but at least like a minute or like maybe 2 minutes. I don't remember.
As far as cameos go, and this isn't me like brown nosing Scott Porter at all, like because I've seen some like Brett Favre charges like $500, and it's like, hey there, happy birthday, Tommy. This is Brett Favre, Green Bay Packer quarterback. Happy birthday. And you're like, are you serious?
Beautiful.
I paid $500 for that.
Impression.
Thank you, Simeon. But like Scott Porter he did a pretty good one. Like the one he did for Adam was like really solid. You can tell Scott.
He puts in a little bit of
information,
work and research.
Yeah, he does some pretty good effort. I don't know what Scott's.
I think he had
right
a bathrobe. I guess. Well,
he had a bathrobe on too.
Scott Crampton bought that one, right? So I think he gave
Scott Crampton got it.
So you get I guess I don't know exactly what kind of information or what he'll be saying, but there will be a
right.
That's what $75 value. That's like a lot. It's big.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Donation essentially. Yeah. So, and if you pay $75 and you play against Simeon, I'll declare that you win automatically because
I'm fine with that too.
Unless
it's Calder. Well,
Calder might not play. So, yeah, by default,
I'm up in the air. I might decide tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, but point being, it's a good cause. And over $600, I think we
absolutely
are around $650 now. But yeah, if you want to donate, if you want to,
I mean, even just
we're doing very well so far. And it's
to say
awesome.
like, hey, like the Heroclix community gathered this money is pretty cool. Even if you're not participating in like the tournament at all, if it's a cause that you're in agreement with and like you're cool with it. Donating just to be part of like the Heroclix group that donates. It's cool for our community to like show like what we do kind of wholesale like that.
Yeah, and it's tax season, right around the corner. So get your tax receipts.
Remind me.
You're donating. Yeah. Also,
true. That is true. It's deductible.
The sheer amount of donations of actual stuff is really out there. I felt like I chipped in a reasonable amount, but then the Heroclix community kind of blew it out of the water. So, yeah, like I said, technically the due date is the day that you'll hear this, but I mean, I can give you to the 10th if you really, really need it, but yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, you guys heard it. Go ahead and check out Jay. He was a great guest. We had a great time having him on. So check out his JSAclix podcast. Check out the tournament. That's obviously all the info is on his Facebook, like he said. As always, you can find Dial H for Heroclix on Facebook.com/Dial H for Heroclix. We're on Twitter at Dial H4. That's the number 4, not spelled out. Heroclix, Twitter.com. We have an odd amount of Twitter followers. Blows my mind. If you want to see more Ness.TM GIFs, you can find those on our Twitter when Simeon just posts things randomly. If you want to see more Ness.TM GIFs, you can check out a myriad of Heroclix Discords, apparently, like Jay's here and a few other ones. If you want to join our Discord, ours is Patreon exclusive Discord. For as little as $1, you can go ahead and get in on the fun. We do giveaways every single month. I have official tiers on the Discord now, or not the Discord, but for the Patreon. So if you join us and if we get, I think I said it like $200, $250. The next wrestling video Extreme Rules that we do will be inside a ring. I don't care how we make it. We're going to get it somehow. I know there's a local indie place that we can rent it from. But if we smash $250, which I know is a lot, that video will be there. If we smash $100, me and Simeon, we're going to do a live video of some form of gameplay challenge video every single month. So whether that be a version of Extreme Rules or like a Heroclix Hot Ones video that we did for Christmas, or for Jay Hanukkah. Actually, I don't even know if it was released around Hanukkah. It probably wasn't actually. It was released the 23rd. But anyways, then $100 will make us do one of those every single month. And if we get the amazing, I think I did put it at $1,000, but if we get $1,000 of donations on our Patreon, we will do Hell in a Cell for our next Heroclix Extreme Rules. Some of those are kind of out there, I know, guys, but they are nonetheless They are there. So that's my promise to you. If we somehow get there, we will make a Hell in a Cell. I don't know how we'll even be able to keep it within $1,000 budget, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way. But all right, this is Dialect for Heroclix. Thank you guys so much for listening. Simeon, why don't you go ahead and read us out of here, my man?
Yeah, it'll be one of those ones that Mick Foley was on where the zip ties keep popping all over the place. But with that, Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, from the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. And they got board games and like dice and token packs and card holders and sleeves. So check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
As always, happy trails.